Onto the studio and onto the airways, Monte Ritter and Neil Winders. They are friends of Mason County Parks. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jeff.
We have a county commission meeting today.
Correct.
And we're going to be talking about the Metropolitan Parks District, or the potential thereof. So where are we at with this, guys?
Well, it's going to be an interesting meeting. We'd like to clarify some of the false reports about what this really entails.
Okay.
And I think most important is that this has been a rush job. I know it seems to many people this is the first that you've heard of a Metropolitan Park District, and it's not apparent. It's not quite apparent to everybody that we've been working on this for over 5 years now in the Mason County Parks and Trails Citizens Advisory Board. We started this about 5 years ago, and I have to say, we did start it at the time. We had members like Michael Siptroth and Kendall and Myers up there in the north end.
Yeah.
We had Susan Baker at the time. We had Linda, and we had Mark out there towards Hood Canal. We had a nice wide range of people from around the community at the time we started this process, and it's been evolving ever since. So it's anything but a rush job. We came out with our comp plan during the formation of this Metropolitan Park District. And we've been asking the people of Mason County, what their priorities are. And we've had public houses, open meetings. We've had surveys. We've done polls. So, there's been a lot of reaching out to different community civic leaders and everything. So, I think we have a well-rounded idea of how this Metropolitan Park District will benefit all of Mason County.
Okay.
So, and Neil's also been doing quite a bit of work on this, and we wouldn't have been here if it hadn't been for Neil, who was also on the on the Citizens Advisory Board when we were working on the Metropolitan Park District. And Neil's done a lot.
Yeah. So Neil, this is going to be potentially a county-wide parks district?
Correct. Right.
How will that work with the Shelton Parks? Isn't there a City of Shelton Parks District? Will that envelop that, or how's that going to look?
The Metropolitan Park District that we're proposing covers all of the unincorporated county.
Okay.
So Shelton will stand alone, and we've talked with Mark Ziegler and examined the possibilities of, could we absorb them in? Would they want to come along? There is ways to do that, but we don't feel that the timing is right currently.
Okay.
So that might be something that could be considered down the road, and there could be some economy of scale gain there. But to get the MPD established currently, right, what we're hoping to do there is to take some of the hats off of the current park people that are also involved with facilities, right? So this will really focus the efforts of Parks and Trails, and it'll give us a chance to pursue some regional ideas, regional trail systems, and I think our focus will also be on economic development, using parks, trails, and recreation as an economic engine.
Yeah,
if you build it, they'll come.
That's right, and we've seen some of that already with your guys' work at MCRA, helping to get those 2 ball fields to become all-weather ball fields.
That's right.
And I know that's one of the items that you'd like to get done, but if we're going to try to get the whole county on board with this, what are some options, or what are some ideas that you're throwing out to maybe the north part of the county?
Well, we've met with the North End stakeholders and a lot of their business leaders, and they are, currently looking at trail development and some of the things that they would like to do, and it just falls right into our current comp plan as it currently is. So as we've met with them, their initial thought was, that they were hoping to maybe do something unique and specific to the North End. But in looking at that and talking with them, I think that we've allayed their fears and showed them that by having a North End Metropolitan Parks District, that just creates a junior taxing district without a whole lot of oomph behind it.
Sure.
You know, so we believe we stand stronger as a county.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'd like to say about this is when the process started, what we really want to try and accomplish is a regional-wide trail system. We want trails that come all the way from Kitsap County and heads out to Grays Harbor. We want trails that come down from Jefferson County and they head all the way out to Thurston County. You know, if we get this, you can come from Tacoma, ride your bicycle, do a loop all the way around Mason County and then go back to Tacoma. And so if we stand as a Metropolitan Park District, we have the strength to reach out for larger grants that can accommodate a much larger scale project. So it's important that we kind of do this as one community. If we break it down into several little taxing districts, we'll never have the clout with the state to go for a large regional plan.
Sure.
They just won't want to do all the small components. So we have to stand together.
And I think also as we stand up as a Metropolitan Parks District, right, this will be a county-wide presence. And so one of the things that I would hope to do would be to also work with the Peninsula Regional Transportation Planning Organization, the PRTPO. And they've been instrumental over the last 20 years putting the Discovery Trail together. And what's interesting about that is that Mason County has always had a seat at that table. You know, one of our commissioners is on the executive board. Mason Transit Authority is part of the TAC board, along with Public Works, right? So the emphasis has always been up north.
Yeah.
Although the region includes Clallam, Jefferson, Kitsap, Mason, right? So we have some wonderful trail opportunities right here in Mason County. You know, I would love to see them slate some of that, get that on the table, and start working some of those efforts down here. And I think the MPD could be a force in making that happen.
So today is a county commission meeting, and where, when, and what would you like people to do if they come and support you guys?
Well, I tell you one thing I think is this is a public information meeting, much as like this, what you're presenting to us right now, just an idea forum to get information out. What we need to know is if the questions people might have about a Metropolitan Park District, and I'd like to say that it's important that even though the commissioners don't need to have a public meeting to put this on the ballot, they do want to have public questions answered. And I know one of the questions is going to be, and I heard it before, is we don't want to have new taxes. There's a 20 cent per thousand. If your house is worth $100,000, that'd be $20 a year you'd pay in new taxes. But it also has to be pointed out that currently our parks departments are funded with the REIT 2 tax, and that expires in 2017. So this is not really a new tax. It's a stronger, better, more specific to the parks tax. And the other taxes is going away.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if we can get this on the ballot and if we can get it passed during this election cycle, then there wouldn't be any need for the commissioners to renew the REIT 2 funding in 2017.
Sure.
So then, there could be a public push to actually drop that tax. So in a sense, it becomes a push.
Yeah.
And
wow.
that
Okay.
That's leverage against leverage, and we think that'd be a wonderful way to get the MPD started.
Nice.
But that's only one of the many questions. I'm sure, because a lot of people are just now finding out about this, even though we tried to, reach out more, is we need to know their questions so that we have an opportunity before we do come up with the final resolution. We have 2 more weeks, or we have another week, that we get to do it, then another week before we actually have, to work on this. But then we have another 3 months before the election to reach out there and really inform the public. So right now, we just like to have some questions so we can answer those and get everybody on the same page.
Sure.
And one of the other concerns was, as we currently set this up, we're looking to have 5 commissioners, which is part of the RCWs for creating the Metropolitan Parks District,
okay.
right? So those 5 commissioners are elected at the same time that the MPD is created. All right, so that takes the authority and the leadership, and it puts that upon the 5 commissioners and not so much the county commissioners.
Okay.
Right? So again, that creates a focus.
Yeah.
You're not wearing 5 different hats, you're wearing one hat, and it's all about parks and trails. Well, we set it up to have 5 commissioners at large. Okay, so there's some concern that, well, 5 people on one block could get together, and then become the commissioners.
Sure.
Right?
But
And
only if 5 people are the only 5 who run.
Right.
But if we
Very
have
true.
6 who run, then we'd have to vote for those 5.
yeah, but the other thing is number one, that'd be a rare thing, right? There are 18 other Metropolitan Parks districts in the state of Washington, and around half of them have their commissioners at large.
Okay.
And there's several examples of even inside the county, like the Belfair Hospital District. Their board is at large, right? There hasn't been any examples where that's been a problem, and even if you take like the worst case scenario and assume that 5 people from Belfair became Parks Commissioners,
Right.
and all the focus was Belfair centric. In my mind, I'm thinking, if we get a regional trail system that starts from Belfair to Shelton instead of Shelton to Belfair,
It's still the same trail.
Yeah, it's the
still
same thing.
benefits the county,
Yeah.
and it's going to be
That's
awesome.
a good point. It's a good point. So some precedents there.
And even the
Yeah.
people in Belfair are going to want to see a regional trail, because they're going to want to have people go through Belfair to go someplace,
Yeah.
and then, and have a whole bunch more traffic.
Yeah. So, you're a bike rider, right? Name me one multi-use path in Mason County,
Well, in Mason County, I can't think of one.
because there isn't one.
Wow.
You
Wow,
know.
this would be something big for the county then.
We're parks and trails, but we don't really have much in the way of trails yet.
We're parks and
We are
trails.
parks.
Parks and trails. Monty Ritter, Neil Winders, the meeting is today at the County Commission. Yeah.
Okay, and just want to say, just in case anybody wants to have more information, the kind people up at PUD 3 on Johns Prairie Road are allowing us to use the auditorium on Wednesday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. So if you want to come out anytime between 6 and 8, we'll have all all the information we have and open up everything to you. And if you have questions and stuff, please come on in, stop in, ask us, let's get things going. Mason County Friends of the Park have the auditorium from 6 to 8 on Wednesday, and please come on up and learn more about the Metropolitan Park District.
And we'll also be up addressing the North Mason Voice
More,
on the 25th.
Oh, very good.
on the 25th, yes.
You can also get information at mcfop.org. That's the Mason County Friends of the Parks website, and we encourage you to get involved in this big push for better parks and trails around Mason County. Monty, Neil, good to see you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming in.
Right.
Really, thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
It's 7:51 at iFiber One News Radio.